Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia, and this is going to be match number 3. We have match number 1 and 2 already finished, and this is going to be op.ggskeleton playing once again after they were defeated by Kings of Dragon X. Yes, lots of names, lots of long names, long team names. I have to get used to all the teams. It takes some time, but Sandbox playing for the first time after they dropped 2 matches last weekend, which was very painful.
It was incredibly painful, especially as a lot of people were hyping Sandbox to be the best team in Korea. There was so much hype behind Sandbox. They're one of the, I want to say, stronger looking teams out of all their players.
Yes, because their organization itself is made up of lots of content creators, lots of YouTubers, lots of streamers especially. So, and then a lot of the community was also expecting that. Let's take a look at the team intro video. That's it over on op.ggskeleton. Having lots of course, losing. They had their initial win last weekend. Having dropped 1 series, they're off to their 3rd one. 3rd one, of course, because there are only 4 teams from Korea, having the round robin between each other. We only 3 matches guaranteed.
And here we have op.gg's team profile: Chasu, EuiChan, Jin TV, and Seong. I don't think we've seen Seong play so far.
We never saw someone in play, and also Dabong TV in play. He's not even here, I think. I don't think he's here tonight, as we only see. Oh, we do have him. Okay. I think but the roster only showed 4, so I was pretty unsure at the moment. But we do have all 5 members. Dabong TV and Seong did not play yet. Maybe today would be the first time, as we saw lots of the other teams having their new player in play.
Yep, and now we're going to see Sandbox up on the screen in just a second. Quite a disappointing week 1 for them, I feel. Losing 2 games when they're expected to at least win 1, you know? If they finish 0-3 out of the Korean regional, that's going to hurt a lot for these players.
Beginning of today, they were in 11th place. 11th place, pretty low compared to all the teams in the Asian region. Pretty disappointing result from last weekend.
Yeah, Ito, Beaver, Khani, and Sinchu. Beaver is one of the biggest Clash Royale YouTube personalities in Korea, I think, if I'm correct in my research.
Yeah, Beaver along with June and Expo Master has also started, I believe.
Yeah.
And there are a few other content creators.
Youngela was another one that we saw last year.
He's also casting in Korean every Friday.
So, I mean, big YouTube streamers, especially in the Korean scene, don't seem to translate very well into the competitive scene.
Yeah, that's right. And also, Jun, who was in the competitive match last year, we do remember him. But he's also a caster instead because he failed to qualify. And that's the competitive scene here, as it's competitive, you lose, you don't make it. Maybe you can try out for next season, but that's it. Having the better players for the team, that's always the case. Here comes Jin TV.
This is the 2nd time we see Jin TV today playing 1v1. Last week he played Expo decks. This week he banned Battle Ram against Expo, which was a bit of an odd choice. Both of us felt that way.
We didn't really quite get to see Battle Ram in 1v1. Of course, 2v2, we did get to see a lot of Battle Ram coming down.
And here's Khani.
Khani on the other side.
First 1v1 match for him in the Clash Royale League Asia, from what I'm, working out here. So we haven't seen him before.
Very popular player, as known as Khani. Big YouTuber also. I believe he played 1 2v. in 1 2v2.
Played in 2 2v2s. He won one, lost one. So he must have won against OGN Entus and lost against Kingzone, yeah.
That was real last time, but once he's off to a 1v1 now, maybe he can show off what he's good at. Battle Ram ban once again from Jin TV. Khani surprisingly bans Graveyard instead.
What happened to Jin in this last week that has caused him to be so scared of the Battle Ram? There's got to be something behind it, right? It's a bit interesting to see him ban it twice in 2 different matches today.
I think it's also because he has been focusing into the Goblin Hut, doing some chip damage every single time. You just want to guarantee there's nothing coming straight at you. At least something slow, like a Goblin, like a Giant or something. Because Battle Ram is actually pretty quick once he gains the charge. Straight into the Goblin Hut can be a big counter tool.
Yeah, so we saw Jin ban the Battle Ram last time, and he lost 2-1 to Expo Master. Expo Master just played flawlessly once again, but he bans the Collector. This time Khani bans the Graveyard. What does that mean in terms of the decks these players are going to be bringing?
I think we're going to see a lot of minor, maybe just with the Elixir Collector, some heavy beatdown pushes, which is not the style of usual Korean players in terms of meta. It's very less likely. We do see a lot of beatdowns from Southeast Asia. And I think with the Graveyard ban, basically, maybe just having lots of minors coming out. I think that's a good option, along with the poison. Even Tornado's available in this case.
So I don't think we'll be seeing Hog Rider in this this set. Purely because Hog Rider Tornado, as we saw earlier, can really put you at a disadvantage. If your opponent has the Tornado, it just makes you lose the game, I feel, activating the King Tower so early.
That is certainly true. There are a few tools if you want to use that Tornado to activate the King Tower, which in this case, I think it's very likely, and a good tool for you to have in your own hands, even against the Miner.
Yeah, dragging that Miner onto the King Tower. There is one position that you can put a Miner in where it will not be dragged to the King Tower.
And it's not as easy because the duration is not as long as before. It is not 2.5 seconds anymore. It has only been less than 2 weeks since the balance update has been out there. I think balance update was on the 24th of last month, so only 8-9 days since the update, and a lot of players still trying to find the right meta for perfect deck to set out the balance. There were lots of changes. Still Dark Prince, even with the big nerf on the shield, in play in most of the deck, showing what the Dark Prince can actually do.
Yeah, and he would have done so much more had that balance update not been applied.
Remember last year, before, where we actually had one game, I believe, with Dark Prince, and we were saying, "Oh, there's a Dark Prince finally in one of the games."
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah, it was right towards the end of the CCGS career.
Maybe even in a show match.
No, we saw it in the CCGS career.
Okay, it was one. I remember at least one, and I think that was the only one.
Then he got buffed, I believe, and then suddenly he's absolutely everywhere in a double Prince deck.
Yeah, double Prince has been quite effective, even nowadays, still in 1v1 and 2v2. Very powerful, along with the Poison Spell and the Giant. That has been the meta deck.
There's so many different kinds of deck you can build around the double Prince core as well. You could bring in the Giant. You could have like a much quicker push with Poison, chip damage. Like, it's such a flexible core inside a deck.
Once you have the push, you know you have a massive lead the moment either one of those princes gets a hit onto the tower, and basically it will be a tough time for the opponent to go against that prince. Doing hundreds of damage each hit has been the tool.
Terrible, terrible damage is something that comes to mind back from the days. And the princes do. They just walk through towers like they're nothing. They could probably ignore it and just walk through it, destroying it on the way.
Yeah, going back to the bans, we do have the Battle Ram Graveyard. It seems like Jin TV really wants to take out all the charge units to be out of there.
Is Battle Ram the best one to take out, though? I feel like you could ban Dark Prince instead,
I
but
think he wants to use the Dark Prince himself. That's why he's not really banning it out. Of course, Dark Prince, a critical one that's in multiple decks, multiple meta decks. So many, I believe after this weekend, I'll just do the numbers in check. And I think that Dark Prince may just be one of the cards that's used mostly as a key card.
it's a staple, basically. You must put it in a deck for your deck to be able to climb high or to be able to defend really well. It's such a good defensive tool.
I think competitive a little different in story compared to the latter, but still in play in a lot of the games. That's how it shows. The card is just so good right now in this patch. The game is ready between Jin TV and Khani. Here we go, the first game.
We have op.ggskeleton Jin TV in the blue at the bottom, and we have Sandbox Khani in red at the top. Goblin Barrel coming out.
Oh, and he
for
says
Jin
good
TV.
luck.
Bit of BM there, making your opponent emote as you throw out the Goblin
Is this the
Barrel.
Goblin deck from the Goblin Challenge we just had?
It's looking
Nope,
like one
with
of
the
them.
Princess, no.
Princess just gets wiped out by a fireball. Seems a bit too much. Princess generally dies pretty early, but if you are playing this very light deck, then you need to take it out.
And
instantly.
also Khani just wanted to cycle his with the fireball out of the way. There's an Infernal Dragon now slowly walking towards. There's a barrel.
Again.
Nothing to defend it at the moment. Minions come slightly too late, taking a
Feels-
significant damage.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage done to that tower, but Khani's just hasn't quite pushed through.
Khani wanted to save that elixir for the Lava Hound that's coming directly now, taking some damage directly from the Infernal Dragon of Jin TV. So we'll get taken down easily.
So quickly, and the Princess as well, helping to mop up those pups really quickly. Next to no damage taken, and there's a
An
blue.
easy defense by Jin TV. He throws a barrel, knowing that defense from blue will not be enough.
The Inferno Dragon
does
connects.
not connect. Tornado misses big time from Jin TV, but he gets his tower down in trade. So better of a trade anyhow.
Wow. The Inferno Dragon connects to the tower. The tower just dies instantly again. Really sloppy defending there from Khani, I feel.
Slow defense, very slow defense. And it had to connect. The Tornado had to connect. He had enough elixirs. He wasn't even late on it. He was trying to time it perfectly, which was a little unfortunate, but he got the tower down himself. So Khani onto his own offensive now.
Instantly fireballing that Goblin Barrel. In comes the Tombstone. The Inferno Dragon doing some defensive work, but that's not where you want your Inferno Dragon to be. That deep in your own half. It doesn't deal damage quickly.
Khani, the only way of coming back into this game is to take out some ground units with the minions and maybe the Tombstone, the guard.
Dark Prince
Making
connected.
sure his balloon connects. He's going to land it towards the other lane.
There's the Tornado, pulling it back, easily taken down. But Princess is actually dealing damage onto that King Tower. Dealing quite a bit of damage. Left unattended there. He needs to take a tower. That's probably why. But there's just no push here for Khani.
You end up, Princess actually a great bait of a spell. You end up tossing down a log or an arrow or anything better to take out that Princess. And moment he used that fireball, of course also damaging the tower. But using a fireball to take out the Princess alone was a little bit, not too much, but slightly of a waste.
It's one elixir waste, basically, at that point, right? It feels a bit, as you said, it feels too much. It shouldn't be that kind of trade. Arrows would have worked as well, log would have worked. Or you could just wait until the Princess gets close to the tower and take her out with anything. She's very squishy.
Of course, he didn't have any log to really go in and take care of the Princess, but that Princess is a card that you can actually shoot from such a far away distance that the opponent end up using lots of logs to take care of that Princess. Will be a kill.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking 1 or 2 hits on your tower from a princess as you push something in front of her after she fires. Making sure she's locked onto that tower, then dropping even skeleton. 1 elixir skeleton will take out the princess pretty quickly if they don't get targeted by something else.
Khani falling behind a little bit. Very late reactions. Of course, he had the Lava Hound in mind, thinking that ahead. He wanted to have his units drop down slightly late, but actually gave a lot more chance opening up for Jin TV to do not the maximum damage, but somewhat significant damage from every single barrel that was tossed into the right top Princess Tower.
And the Inferno Dragon connecting as well probably should have defended that. Like, an Inferno Dragon connecting onto a tower always feels bad for the player.
He feels very rushed, and his Lava Hound went straight down from Jin TV's Inferno Dragon. Let's see if that connects at all as we get ready to go into game number 2. We have the signal, let's get in.
Alright, so in the blue, Jin TV for op.ggskeleton at the bottom of the screen. And we have Sandbox Khani in red at the top. And Jin drops down the Goblin Gang right at the beginning of this match.
Let's see if Jin TV has the same deck. So far the same with the Princess and the Goblin Gang. Lightning spell already being dropped by Khani. Last time it was Fireball.
That feels very, very heavy to be using against a princess only.
A bowler.
Interesting here.
Activate the King Tower. Nicely done by Khani, timing it perfectly.
That's going to up his defense quite a lot, as that King Tower does provide extra support for the Princess Towers. And the bowler looks like he's going to get very close to this tower. Maybe 1 boulder. There we go, 1 boulder. Just dealing a little bit of damage.
Very good against the Goblin Gang. Also, lots of small units that could push it. And the barrel not as effective now with the King Tower activated. It's going to be somewhat of a tougher time. Even the log, look at that, taken care of easily. But the Lecture Wizard still surviving with the help of the King Tower.
Yeah, that
great
Goblin
way of defending.
The barrel did get 1 or 2 hits in, but at this point, that's fine. Especially when you have an Electro Wizard behind a Giant, and the Giant is definitely going to collect on a tower that has already been significantly damaged.
3, 4.
He's not stopping anytime
5,
soon.
6 hits, and does activate the King Tower, but doesn't really matter as much because that bottom right tower will be going down very soon with the lightning spell and few help of the damage.
At what cost was that tornado to activate that King Tower? So much damage has been done to that bottom right-hand tower.
6 straight punches into that bottom Princess Tower.
That's 5 too many from a Giant. At this kind of level, that's 5 too many.
Even 1-2 hits from Giant. There's tons of damage, hundreds of damage. But 6 hits, must be feeling pretty bad after the throw.
There's another Giant. Dark Prince is going to take a little bit of damage on that, but the tower is doing its work. And the bowler as well, just in range of it, takes it out really quickly. There's a barrel. Log straight away, killing those goblins.
He's holding in. He's expected to come out.
Giant got 1 hit there, actually, dealing another roughly 200 damage to that tower.
Seems pretty hard for Jin TV to come back into this game as he's down to 237, and there's a lightning and the log from Khani's hands. Yeah,
lightning will finish this game. There's a barrel. Where's the lightning?
Log just going for the damage, and that's it. So end the minute mark with the overtime. Tower going down. Khani will take it back with a great counter deck. As he had the bowler, lightning spell, and the tornado going against the barrel, activating the King Tower from the beginning.
And then Jin tried to activate his own King Tower with the Giant, and it just didn't happen as quickly. It took way too long for the Giant to turn around, to strike the tower. He did 6 hits onto that tower before being pulled away. He took way too much damage trying to wait for that tornado to activate his tower. Sure, he might have been waiting for Elixir, but he needed to put something else out there.
Yep. Way too slow of a reaction. believe he had the cycle to just to have it on his hand too. But once you have the giant right next to your tower, time to get to freeze, and once you don't have enough elixirs to put down that tornado, it feels pretty bad. And giant is pretty heavy compared to the other one. Does not get dragged as well. Yeah, very slow.
Yeah, his feet dig into the ground, and he slowly is like, no, I'm not gonna go away.
So certainly not as fast as the goblin coming to the center of that tornado. Tornado spell so effective. You have to take into mind both sides. I'm pretty sure they were thinking that the opponent may just be having a tornado. I always have to watch out for the king tower. It's always possible, but it seemed like they put down their guard a little bit, spawning everywhere. It's 1-1 between Jin TV and Khani. The winner of this will take the set for their team. Final game between these two. Final game of 1v1 for the second 2v2 and ace match. Let's get into game number 3.
So at the top of the screen we have Sandbox's Khani. At the bottom of the screen we have op.gg's Jin TV. Both players now at 10 elixir. Are they going to be playing anything? There's an elixir collector from Khani. What are we going to see here?
A golem. Fireball already been dropped to land some damage, of course.
So Mega Minion as well.
Will not get the maximum value out of that elixir collector. Ooh, Infernal Dragon. Maybe he's thinking of his own golem.
But the golem is going down the opposite side from the Inferno Dragon. That's not too bad. There is plenty of time to have more cards come in. And there's a Night Witch played on the opposite side to defend.
The damage going in straight to the tower. Golem is very slow.
That tower is out.
Dragon connects
to the Night Witch. Unfortunately, if that Inferno Dragon actually hit the tower, that would have been dead already.
Maybe. Lumberjack. Oh, tornado just enough to drag into the King Tower. Great defense by Jin TV. Even the Rage, not with the strongest tool.
But it's going to do so much damage to
a lot of damage to the King Tower. Look at all those emotes coming out from both of the players. As it's down to 2.1, 2,000 nearly.
Have you ever seen the King Tower drop lower than the Princess Towers before?
Not too rare of a sight, but Goblin Barrel once again doing some damage. Bandit drops down. One more hit.
So close.
Because King Tower actually does less damage than the Princess Tower, but the thing that makes it strong is that because it has higher HP than the Princess.
And that tower is down and out.
No reason to spend your elixir to actually defend for that. It was going to go down regardless.
Yeah, with the Golem Night Witch deck, going down one tower is not, it's not killing your game. He still has one push here. If this push fails, another Golem push will not have enough time to come through.
Great placement of the Princess and Bandit, taking it out. Nicely done by Khani, connecting right after.
Tornado.
Great leaving used, but nothing following up with it though.
Does manage to break the Golem. There's a Fireball. Rage Potion comes in. One hit, two hit. Oh, that tower might actually go not quite down, but that's a decent amount of damage.
Great Goblin Gang coming. Stopping that Bandit charge was at the critical timing. Charge almost went to that tower. Way too early of an approach. Infernal Dragon gets straight damage onto the Golem already. Khani seems like he has lost this one out. Even the Tornado, not enough. Fireballs himself. Of course, you can't do damage to your own tower, but that's going to be game. Jin TV taking the first set for op.ggskeleton.
Jin's 1v1 record is now 2 wins and 1 loss. I feel he only lost to Expo Master.
Yes.
He is so good. And Khani, I don't know. He's really, really good. In his 2v2 matches, he's been pretty good. But I don't know, in this game, that last Golem push just didn't quite have enough oomph behind it. He needed a lot more to be able to take out that tower. And it was his last push. He had no other push, no time remaining for another Golem push to be built up.
Just by watching this one, I know. Actually, I know. I don't think Khani's the top of the list for 1v1 player. And I think Sandbox should be rethinking about their 1v1 player who wants to be out as their ace match potentially later on if it happens after coming back with the 2v2. But
well,
I don't think Sonny's at the moment the best 1v1 player in the Korean region right now.
Well, taking a look at Sandbox, every player, Beaver, Sinchu, Edo, and Khani have all played 1v1. Beaver, Sinchu, Edo, and Khani have all lost in their 1v1 matches. That's not a good record to be having right now. They do not have this strong 1v1 player, it seems like.
They need Simon.
No, they really do not. If they put me in their team, they would be losing even quicker than this. These guys,
so far, they have been rushed. They have been stomped down by the other team. They were very late on their 1v1s. Reaction is very oftentimes getting greedy and missing a lot of your hit points because of that greedy timing.
Yeah, I just don't know what's going wrong for Sandbox. Like, on paper, this is one of the strongest teams we have.
Yes.
In practice, they look the weakest. I'm not going to say they are the weakest, but they look the weakest in practice.
Well, they are about to be the weakest after if they drop this 2v2 in the entire region. May just be possible very soon.
The last push from Khani, it just wasn't strong enough for a golem push. At that point, you have 50 seconds remaining. That is your last golem push. You do not get another one after that.
You can't just be thinking about one-step approach. You have to be thinking about the next move. It's like playing billiards. You want to hit a ball to make it into a pocket, but you have to think about the next one, where you want to place your white ball, so that you have a very good angle for the next hit that you want to connect it to. You have to thinking about that extra strap every single time when you put down one. Or if you're in a rush, of course, you just have to throw down some spells. But once you make the units go down, where you place it, why you place it, there has to be good reasoning behind all those moves.
All right, so we are onto the 2v2. We've seen EuiChan, and now we see Seong
for the first time.
For the first time. Favorite cards, Lava Hound, Balloon, and Fireball.
Oh, he's the air type player here. Air unit type. As Lava Hound, not really seen too many in 2v2s, but Balloons, yes. We're going through all the units, just sweeping through and connecting to the tower. Did happen few of the games, especially last weekend, not as much this weekend.
Yeah, Seong is the baby of the team. I'm just looking at the ages of op.ggskeleton now. He is the youngest by 6 years.
Who's the second oldest?
The oldest is EuiChan at 33. Then we have Dabong and Chasu at 28, and Jin TV at 25.
Oh,
that's a very, let's say, experienced team.
Very young player.
On the screen now we see Beaver
with the 2v2.
Yeah, his record: 1v1, 1 win, and he won his 2v2 last week, which sent us into the ace match against OGN Ventus, where they couldn't win.
They banned Minor, which was, I don't think it ever happened in the other 2v2s. They were the only one banning Minor.
Be interesting to see what they ban here. Here's Sinchu, 1v1 record, 1 loss. That's the only game he's played so far.
Hunter. He has been using the Hunter against the Giant, which was quite impressive. Eventually, he lost the Elixir trade, so he was falling behind. But in terms of his usage onto the Hunter card as a defensive card, pretty effective, I would say, even against lots of ground units.
Gonna be interesting to see what he puts down for the 2v2 here. We haven't seen him in 2v2 yet, and we've seen that players play very differently between 1v1 and 2v2.
Sinchu, his favorite, stays the same. He uses lots of Goblin Hunt.
Uses lots of miners as well.
Goblin Hunt used all 3 times. Having to win, of course. We have lots of stat provided by the production. They will be in use a lot more. We do see a Balloon ban.
Tornado and Balloon. Tornado ban from op.gg. That has been their kind of staple ban
yes.
in 2v2. And Balloon being banned from Sandbox. Interesting. If teams know that op.gg are going to be banning the Tornado, it means in the future they can ban out something else. Because we saw a lot in the first week that Tornado was being banned twice because it is such a good card in 2v2.
Yeah, Tornado. You can lock down so many units at the same time. So kind of course, different from Clone Spell that we saw previously. But maybe their skeleton, op.gg's skeleton, thinking about their own skeletons in this case. I think they really struggled in their 2v2, where they brought their own minor magic archer, which they won. But the other two, with the Infernal Dragon, the Rage, with the Dark Prince, the Double Prince Golem, which was not too effective against Kingzone earlier in the day. Let's see if they have any other 2v2 strategy ready for them.
It's going to be interesting to see what Sandbox play. They're really down right now. They're not performing well. They're not performing as expected. They need this win to keep any hope really of finishing the Korea Regional in an okay spot. Being 2-1 down is fine. Losing 2 and winning 1 is okay, but being 0-3, that negatively affects your mindset as a team so much.
Yeah, being worse in the region does not feel good, certainly. And Beaver using lots of Dark Prince and Mega Minion to follow up right after. Even a Zap instead of the Lightning Spell.
Beaver also used Tesla in 1v1. He's one of the other players who has played Tesla so far in the Korean region. And I don't know if we'll see it in 2v2, but it is still a useful card, I feel. It definitely has a spot.
I think it's a great defensive tool, especially against a Balloon that was banned out this time, so less likely to see the Tesla Tower coming out in this specific 2v2.
I'm gonna reckon we're gonna see Double Prince, Minor, Poison.
From Sandbox?
From both teams at some point. During this set, I think we're gonna see that core be played a lot.
I think we're seeing we're narrowing it down to few decks that are working so well on 2v2. Maybe we will see some creative decks coming in soon, but still, you only see lots of Golem, lots of heavy ones pushing in with lots of Infernal Dragons, of course, to stop that push. And the trend we saw from yesterday and today was the Giant Skeleton. That's another thing now.
With the clone or without the clone?
With the clone and also without the clone.
I think with the clone, it just seems to be so much more powerful on the defense. Like 4 death bombs, 4 final explosions from them, so much damage.
Which is true, and they've got their 3 minutes to build their deck. As op.gg's Skeleton winning the series with Jin TV taking 1v1, we are ready to go into 2v2. Let's get in.
Alright, EuiChan and Seong in blue for op.gg, Beaver and Sinchu for Sandbox in the red. Here we go. Minor being used there by Sandbox. It looks like op.gg are going to be going for a Lava Hound in the front.
Oh, almost the maximum damage from the Minor. Takes down almost 700 more by Minor alone.
There's a Minor this time for op.gg. What is going to be happening to that tower at the top right-hand side of the screen? That's where we should be looking right now. Decent amount of damage, but not too much. Not as much as expected.
Single Minor did a lot more damage, which is pretty surprising. But when you leave that Minor alone, will do chunks of damage. That's why it's a legendary card.
Yeah, Dark Prince does connect on that charge just about for Sandbox. And here we go, double Minor this time on the tower, but nothing is defending it.
Yeah, Flying Machine. I'm guessing they wanted to have that in range and then go to the right side.
That tower is so dead. There's still nothing there to defend it.
They want to make their push all the way in, getting some damage.
Not enough compared to how much damage was just done by that double Minor.
Not even close, down to 400. That basically means few fireballs will take it out.
What happened here?
And Sandbox had already just switch out to the defensive build. Flying Machine did not connect because the last miner was towards that King Tower instead of the outer side. And they were having that mind game going on, and they fell right into it.
This is so bad now for Sandbox.
Having a P.E.K.K.A just taking care of that miner. 2 shots, easily done.
But that tower is going down. Sorry, Sandbox actually have the advantage, but op.ggsk have taken down a lot of that top tower. And now they're defending.
P.E.K.K.A will be get taken out from easily. Now they're already onto the next tower in the left lane now. Slowly approaching. Actually, the Inferno does lock onto the Infernal Lava Hound here.
Yeah, Sandbox do take down that bottom left-hand tower. Is there enough from op.ggsk to push forward up onto the top? Lava Hound, Miner. It does look like that tower is going to fall, which will put the teams back at all square, to be honest.
Yeah, but much slower of an attack. And in terms of Elixir, about the same.
Who is going to win this? It's impossible to tell right now.
Jin Prince going against the Dark Prince on the left, taking out the shield and the damage from the towers. Great defense, and the poison getting some value there as it's taking out the Tombstone along with that.
Poison chipping away at that tower. It does look like Sandbox now have an advantage.
Ooh, the Skeleton Barrel actually drawing so much attention. Greatly done, Miner getting taken.
Oh, but op.ggsk are dealing so much damage onto that tower. Down to 1,000. Down to 500 almost. There we go.
Now with the Pups doing some damage, down to 422 already, but the P.E.K.K.A can be a problem. Let's see, do they have anything to stop it? They do have the Zap ready to go on that Infernal Dragon. There it is. Tombstone being dropped down to delay that P.E.K.K.A from going towards that 3 crown.
This is so hard to call, but op.ggsk are in such a strong position. The miner connects, the second miner at the back connects as well. That tower is gone.
That's going to be it with the poison and the fireball to secure. It was going down anyhow, but they had the style to finish.
I realized about halfway through that Sandbox were actually playing incredibly well. I got my colors mixed up. But even though they were doing incredibly well, they got the tower down first. op.ggsk comeback. They kept their cool. That was what was important there. They kept their cool, and they had that one big push, which just deleted 3/4 of the HP off that tower.
They had the confidence to keep up the same exact attack with the Lava Hound and their own miner. They were not dealing with the miner to the left bottom to Princess Tower because they had their trust. They knew if they have a successful push into the right one, they can have a better one, which they actually did towards the end of the game. And then they made it work much better towards the late game with the Lava Hound just connecting. Instead of approaching from all the way back, they actually put the Lava Hound right next to the bridge, so it actually goes quicker in that terms.
Yeah, just to let you guys know, Sandbox have actually called a timeout here. I think they really need it after that. It's, I don't know, it's just such a bad position for Sandbox to be in.
Yeah, one more loss. They are down 0-3 match score. They will be down 0-3 match score, which will be basically all losses from the region.
Not the position you want to be in when you're going to start moving into other countries to play against the SEA region, the Japan region. Oh.
Yeah, op.ggskeleton, they only need a single game here. If they win this 2v2, they are done. They're going home with a win. After a loss against Kings on Dragon X, they were able to come back after Sandbox. Against Sandbox, which I think is very likely at the moment. The momentum and the speed they're charging in right now. And compare that to Sandbox. I think Sandbox is losing their teamwork a little bit. There's individual use of the spells are really good, but the coordination compared to ggskeleton at the moment, I would say they're losing it a little bit.
You can see everyone around the 2v2 players here, except for Edo, who seems to just be chilling out back of the desk. Is that a sign that maybe the team spirit quite isn't there yet? You know what I mean?
I think it's also in the rulebook, then they can have up to maximum of 2 team members to discuss.
Plus the coach. So 3, right?
I think 2, including the coach.
But then there were 3 people there. There was the coach and 2 players.
Because
no?
they had 2v2.
Oh, yeah. I can't count. I thought there was 5 people
I'm pretty
there.
sure I read the rule book. And
I read the rule book, but I forgot that rule.
Yeah, but they are ready. Maybe the final game of tonight. If op.ggskeleton wins this game, it'll be the match point. Sandbox, can they come back from this loss right now? Let's get into game 2.
You know a team is coordinated in this qualifier, not the qualifier, in these matches when they can actually hit a high five. We've seen so many failed high fives and fist bumps lately.
Fist bumps are actually harder compared to the high five, so I would have my personal opinion on that. But Lava Hound seems like we're having similar decks. Same deck from op.gg, a different one from Sandbox.
Yes.
Oh, actually gets the rocket on top of that Infernal Dragon, straight up.
Yeah, the Golem does connect with the tower for 1 punch.
Straight up, it's going to connect the damage. And getting few shots in.
Yeah, the Inferno Dragon takes so much damage, it's almost dead. There it goes, it falls down. The Electro Wizard is going to connect into the tower, but the Lava Hound does come back down at the bottom right. They're going to restart this push. They really do need to restart this push.
It's going to take some time. They do take a lot of damage, but a good trade towards that 1.9k on their own. The Tesla being dropped as a defensive tool, so the Lava Hound will actually take a longer time in this case.
Yeah, the Lava Hound this time goes for the Tesla. Flying Machine instantly fireballed again. So this Lava Hound does not even manage yet to take out that Tesla Tower. Tesla Tower takes out all the pups plus the Lava Hound. There's a Dark Prince. Mega Minion's gonna deal 1, maybe 2 hits there before going down to the tower.
Great defense, but look at that rocket in the hands of Sandbox. They want to finish this game and bring a win for themselves, but they have to secure that with their push first, and then going towards it.
So this is the almost traditional matchup in 2v2, Lava Hound versus Golem. We've seen it so many times, and usually the Golem wins.
The Infernal Dragon locks onto that Golem, but gets taken out with the rocket. Rocket.
Oh, but look at that full beautiful placement on that second tombstone there, making sure that that Golem walks from one lane to the other, so it starts dealing damage to the undamaged tower.
The Prince will get stopped by the Dark Prince and the Tombstone. Also, great way of defending, just making sure you have all the Tombstones to drag the Golem all the way towards the other side. op.gg working their defensive move right here.
Yeah, and everything that survived op.gg's defense suddenly is in the face of Sandbox's tower. Didn't deal much damage. The Miner got distracted by the Prince, but it doesn't matter. It's you're forcing your opponent to put out a defense.
Still did some damage. Once again,
op.gg's Inferno Dragon once again blown up with the rocket.
But this time a lot better of an approach with the Dark Prince right behind the Golem. Will actually go straight towards that tower. Great fireball, taking out multiple HPs.
Yeah, there was also no second tombstone to pull the
look at the
Golem
Prince
from across.
Charging it straight in, the tombstone just to delay. That was way too close.
Inferno Dragon does go down to the tower, but both these towers are not looking very healthy. They have to defend, but that Dark Prince, oh, it's perfect. Electro Wizard
coming down everywhere. Lots of zaps from the Electro Wizard. Charging in. There's a Dark Prince with the shield gone from the charge of the Prince.
Almost looked like the Power Rangers there with the lightning coming down with the E-Wizards like teleporting into the field.
Even had to drop down the Miner for themselves now. Poison doing some chip damage and gets the skeletons. Even the rocket. And it's not going to finish, but it will be very close.
Poison is almost enough to finish it. There's a zap. Boom! Sandbox are back in this set.
Using the rocket to take out the Infernal Dragon every single time, just to make sure their Golem goes all the way or at least nearby that tower. We could see with the timing of the tombstones coming in, op.ggskeleton, they were low on elixir. They were getting delayed. That was the reason why they couldn't really bring the tombstone down at the right moment. They were always clicking on it, spamming on, just waiting for the elixir to come on.
and just didn't quite have it. But op.ggskeleton do call a timeout again here. Again? They do call their first timeout.
Yeah, last one was Sandbox, of course. Each team can have a single timeout in every match. So this can be the final one. Sandbox looking to come back into this one, but last time in the 1v1, op.gg and Sandbox back to op.gg. Well, right now we have op.gg, Sandbox, and guess what? The trend was
Sandbox lose.
We can never say, but the trend has been out there. You can pretty much tell what the trend is. I've given you hints, guys. It's Blue's clues right there for all the Nickelodeon fans.
Yeah, Blue's Clues was a bit after my my time, so I never really watched Blue's Clues.
What was your child favorite show?
Shows that you will never have heard of, like Rosie and Jim.
70s show?
No, man, I'm young, but you know. when I was a kid, I didn't watch Blue's Clues. I was into my Rosie and Jim.
Rosie and Jim.
Yeah, you have no idea because it's a region-specific kids show. It's not even a country-specific. It's not just England. Rosie and Jim was only shown in like the Midlands area where I grew up.
Okay.
Quality show, mate. Quality. Right, so these players are just talking about their strategies, making sure that everything is set up properly to take this last game. So who do you think benefits most from this timeout?
Well, I think Sandbox even more because they got their ones working with the rocket to push their way in because it basically guaranteed a path for Golem to go straight into it with Rocket only taking out Inferno Dragon at that game, but whatever spot right next to it was going to be taken out along with it. So very good strategy. Maybe they will keep a similar one because so far after that win from Sandbox, op.ggskeleton, maybe they have their own kind of strategy against it, but not the most common deck from Sandbox. So let's see if they actually use that timeout, 2 minutes of time to come back and revise their deck perfectly into Game 3, which will be the final one of tonight if op.ggskeleton still on a match point. Let's go into game number 3.
Okay, so op.ggskeleton in the blue at the bottom of the map. Sandbox, Beaver, and Sinchu in red at the top. And there is a Lava Hound from op.gg. Looks like they may be going down to their first deck again.
Very similar one with the Flying Machine. And that was game 1. They still have the Miner, Mega Minion waiting in place, just waiting for the Golem to be broken in 2.
Doesn't look like Sandbox have the rocket yet to take out that Inferno Dragon, so he does manage to knock out the Golem before it reaches the tower.
I believe the same one from game 2, and op.gg pulls their game 1 deck once again.
So Miner, Lava Hound, Poison. It's a very standardized deck, I feel, at this point. It's a very common deck that we get to see.
Against that Inferno Dragon has that Electro Wizard, which is basically the counter against that overtime more damage.
Yeah, so I guess when the Inferno Dragon is on their side of the bridge, they're going to drop the EuiChan+. When it's on the opposite side of the bridge, they're going to drop the rocket to take it out.
Yeah, also pretty good as your own offensive tool right now. See, Inferno Dragon basically doing no damage whatsoever.
But so much damage being done to that tower from everything that was pushed up from op.gg. And op.gg actually have a very strong elixir advantage right now.
Yeah, pretty good fireball. Even an extra shot from the Flying Machine. Great trade for op.gg. Almost their way to win the match. They're half through the tower.
There's Tombstone dropped out. They're about equal right now, but that Tombstone does give op.gg a very slight advantage in terms of elixir.
Lava Hound slowly approaching with their Inferno Dragon, the same one, but they do have the rocket in place. I believe this time maybe in use for a defensive use.
Yep, there's a rocket taking out the Inferno Dragon.
I think only damaged. Well, it didn't really matter too much as Inferno Dragon
damage
has a lock
to that tower. Oh my goodness. Lava Hound, what else is attacking that tower? Just does so much damage, 200 HP left. And Lava Hound is coming up for round number 2.
But Infernal Dragon locks it. No damage taken. There's a fireball, but only 65. That's going to be taken care of with any spell. They do have the poison even to take care of. Lots of zaps available from OPGG. They know they got this game in their hand. It's going to be very likely they'll win. Only 50 seconds left.
Unless there is some kind of miracle push here from Sandbox, it is over, and they are finishing the Korean. There we go. They're finishing Korea 0-3.
Sandbox
Wow.
will face off a loss here as all the teams, the members from OPGG already celebrate even before the timer's gone. They know because their tower was barely even scratched in this last game.
I don't think it's even possible to take down a tower from full health to no health in less than 8 seconds. Even if the Infernal Dragon just reaches it, I don't think it's possible.
Unless you have a huge wave of your own units already in place, it is technically impossible, I would say. In 8 seconds, can an Elite Barbarian and Rage can do it in 8 seconds if there's nothing
I don't know. My
defending
tower
it?
usually dies instantly to Elite Barbarian and Rage, so I assume it could do anything.
You're lying.
It could do anything.
What we are going into the highlights as op.ggskeleton brings back their win after dropping against Kings of Dragon X the first series of tonight. We'll be recording when they're in the middle in the standings of the highlight of set number 2.
Yeah, and as you can see, so much damage was done in this set 2 game 1 to that tower, and then they just kind of pushed even harder up that other side to finish it off.
Great comeback here as the Infernal Dragon was basically lost. Lots of Lava Hound just pushing all the way in.
Perfect high five meta here. Managing to connect the high fives, which is so difficult for some of these players.
Yeah, this was a better use of the rocket. Actually missed somewhat in game 3, I believe. We will get to see that also.
Yeah, constantly rocketing the Inferno Dragon really did work out for Sandbox. I'm not sure why they stopped doing it.
I believe, let's take a look at it again. They did use the rocket defensively. Might have missed onto the Lava Hound, only getting the Inferno Dragon. Yes,
Yeah,
it did miss onto the Lava Hound.
Poor positioning there. And that's what allowed OPGG the window to finish off this game so quickly.
Yeah, getting some extra value from locking down that Inferno Dragon slightly longer. And their use of the Tombstone was brilliant every single time.
Really good defensive tool, just to pull things into the middle.
We are jumping right into the interview with the winner.
네, 오늘의
From
마지막 세
OPGG.
번째 매치 OPGG와 샌드박스의 경기 함께 하셨는데요. 오늘 두 번의 경기를 모두 승리로 장식하며 3연승을 하신 OPGG.
And with the 3 wins
기뻐하고
in
있는
a row,
OPGG 진 TV 선수와 인터뷰
going
한번
to have an interview with Jin TV.
안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
네,
Hello.
오늘의 마지막 매치였어요. 승리 소감 한 말씀.
The final match, how do you feel about your team's win?
팀전전에서 저희가 준비한 것을 다 보여주지 못해서 너무 아쉬웠는데.
I think in 2v2, I don't think we got to show everything that we have prepared.
보여드려서 좋은 결과를 거둬서 너무 기쁩니다.
But
네,
still
개인적으로
with that,
궁금한 게
we were
있는데
able to
배틀램
bring
카드
back
두
the
번이나
game,
밴을 하셨더라고요.
win against it, so it
이유가
feels pretty
있을까요?
good. You banned the battle ram. What was the reason behind it?
카드를 꺼내도 제가 까다롭지 않게 쉽게 막을 수 있을 것 같기도 하고.
I think even with the Three
그리고
Musketeers,
제가
I
준비한
think
덱이
without the battle ram, I think it's very
배틀램을
possible
좀
to actually
상대가
go in.
사용을 안 하면은 좀 더 이제 상성을 유리하게 가져갈 수 있지 않을까 생각하기도 해서 그래서 밴을 하게
I just
되었습니다.
thought without the battle ram,
네.
it's very possible for me to
그리고
have better
OPGG는
cards
샌드박스
that
팀과
with the deck
개인적으로
that I had
친하다고
was very
들었어요.
suitable
오늘
for me to
경기를
ban
앞두고
that
어떤 대화를
card.
나누셨는지 궁금합니다.
There were lots of timeouts.
조금 살살
What were you
해달라고
guys
그렇게 장난도 치면서
saying in the middle?
유쾌하게 경기장에 같이 들어오게 되었습니다.
Even before we
네,
were
오늘
just
세 번의
having
경기 모두
some
1세트
chit chat
1대1
with the
경기에
opponent,
참여하셨던데
saying that,
혹시
oh, go
팀적으로
easy on us today.
어떤 전략이 있으신가요?
네, 우선은 다른 팀원들이 제가 1대1 경기에서 좋은 성적을 거둘 수 있도록 많이 연습을
Yeah, my teammates
도와주었고요.
helped me a lot
그리고
for
저
me to
말고
have
이제 다른
great
팀원들이 2대2에서 너무 많은
performance
좋은
in
모습을
1v1.
보여주어서 저도 팀원들이 2대1을 나가면은 꼭 이길 수 있겠다는 믿음이 있어서 저희가 그
And I had the trust when
네,
my
정말
teammates
멋진
go out for
팀원이신 것
2v2
같습니다.
that they will actually bring a win
마지막으로
for the team.
일본에서의 경기를 앞두고
So we have a lot
계시잖아요.
of trust
소감
between
한
each other.
말씀과 견제되는 팀 한마
Do you have any other teams in the regions? In the other regions
저희가 준비만
that
열심히
you
해서
think is powerful?
준비한 모습을 다 보여드릴 수만 있다면은
I think if we
일본이든
prepare
세계
well
어느 나라
and
팀이든
all we have to
다
do
이길 자신 있다고
is
생각하고
prepare well
있고요.
and
그리고 일본전에서도
try to
이렇게
show against what
한국전처럼
we have.
좋은 모습을 많이 보여드릴 수
And also we will
최선을
try as
다하겠습니다.
our best
네,
to
인터뷰 감사합니다.
do just
감사합니다.
as well
네,
as
이렇게
today.
해서
against
OPGG가
Japanese teams
또다시
next week.
승리를 거머쥐었다는 소식 알려드리면서 저는 이만 물러갈게요. 우주 라이크 지금까지
And
우주소녀 루다였습니다.
That was it from Luda from Cosmic Girls. She's actually a pretty popular girl group.
Would you say they were popular? I honestly never
Cosmic
heard
Girls.
of them.
Cosmic Girls. They've been out in OGN for a while.
I never heard of them until this week, but I'm not a big K-pop listener. But today's results, op.ggskeleton take the win, lost to King Zone Dragon X. King Zone Dragon X once again beats OGN Entus, giving them 2 wins today.
Back to back.
And op.ggskeleton do take out Sandbox to finish up today's matches.
Yeah, pretty convincing. I think after the first round robin in the region, you're getting to see which teams are coming on top, which individual players are playing better, what kind of 2v2 strategies we're seeing. I think we're seeing some patterns here, especially in Korea. And we're about to see Japan again tomorrow. But here's the updated standings.
Brent Esports and King Zone Dragon X currently sharing that #1 spot. Game Width looked so dominant last week. I'm expecting them to also join in that top one, the 3 wins, 0 losses.
Teams with strong 2v2 seems to be coming on top. Doesn't matter with the individual player, of course. 2v2 matters so much in Clash Royale League Asia here as Sandbox drops down to tied up 11th with 0-3 after having lost another loss today with AHQ Esports Club. And we'll be having some results from Japan as well tomorrow. Simon and Joel casting it at the same time, of course. That's it. Next matchup, 7 p.m. Yes.
7 p.m. Not the same time as today. 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be back with Joel for the Japan division where we're going to have Ponos Esports versus Detonation Gaming, Game With versus Detonation Gaming, and then Ponos Sports versus Fav Gaming. Seriously, you need to tune in tomorrow and watch Game With.
Yeah, I heard the news from Joe and he was pretty impressed by
Phenomenal.
Game With and Fav also. Very strong team.
Fav were really good, but Game With Shu or Show,
I'll be
I don't
tuning in
know.
for sure. Everyone better be tuning in to tomorrow. Seems like also Southeast Asian players were also saying Japan seems to be the dominant region. They seem very strong. And seems like we are about to close as we had some great matches tonight from Korea. Starting from, we have the last day Japan tomorrow. Starting from next week, we'll have the conference division between the regions. So keep tuning in to Clash Royale League Asia. And we will be back at 7 p.m. KST tomorrow.